Okay. So this is my son. His name's Jadrian. He is 2 years old. He wasn't 2 years old in this. I was actually pregnant at that time. But what he has grown to love are cars like this. And what he likes to do is he likes to kind of slide the, oh, you can see his hand right here. Because he wants to take his car back. So what he likes to do is he likes to actually roll them down ramps. And so instead of him rolling it down every little thing that he can find, I've decided to just build him a ramp. But I only have 2 pieces of wood. So I have a piece of wood that would count as like the height, I guess you could say. So I have a piece of wood that counts as the height. And I have a piece of wood that can go towards the bottom. And I've already measured these pieces of wood out. This one was 2 feet high, and the other one is 6 feet long. Okay, so it's quite big, but I thought that it would be like a good way for him to kind of use this outside. So my task is that I'm gonna have to go find out how long a piece of wood, I need to go to Lowe's, but how long this length is going to be, so that I can make it. So rather than trying to like guess and just like over guess how big it is so I can cut it, I'm gonna go ahead and try to find the exact length. So the way that I'm actually going to do that is using something called Pythagorean Theorem. And I know that in math, Pythagorean Theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. If I'm making a right triangle, which this would be, I would find my right triangle, which would be right here. This would be a leg. This would be a leg. And I'm actually going to have to find where my ramp would be, where Jadrian, my son, would be rolling his cars. And this we would call the, I'm just going to abbreviate, the hypotenuse, but I'm going to call this x, because I want to find what that length is. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and label these, because this would be a leg, this would be a leg. Right here, that would be a hypotenuse. So all I'm doing is quite easy. I'm just going to plug in all those numbers, and that's going to give me my length of how long this ramp is, or my hypotenuse is. So let's go ahead and plug these in. So I have my height, which is 2 feet. So I'm just going to add in 2 squared. Okay, and then I have my length, which is 6 feet. That'll give me 6 squared equals, I don't know what this is, so I'm just going to actually plug in x squared. So now I could solve this out. So 2 times 2 is 4. Kind of move it over a little bit. 6 times 6 is 36 equals x squared. So now I can add these 2 together. These 2 would be 40 equals x squared. And then finally, I would go ahead to get rid of my exponent. I take the inverse, which is the root. I take the square root of that. So now my exponents cancel out. So now I'm left with x equals the square root of 40. But that doesn't give me how long this length is, because I can't go into Lowe's saying, hey, can I get a piece of wood that is the square root of 40? I'm actually going to have to change that out. There's no number multiplied by itself that's going to give me 40. So I'm going to have to plug that into my calculator. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to take 40. Actually, I think I need to do on this one, I have to do the square root, type in 40. That equals 6. So x equals 6.3255, and I can kind of just round that over. So actually I'm going to get a piece of wood that is 6.3 feet. Now I am able to go to Lowe's, get this, I can build my son a ramp, and we're good to go. So that is figuring out a missing side of a right triangle.